new way to see. No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see it through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With diet-free life, the health futures lose by.
What's up, everybody? This is Robert Ferguson. This is Diet Free Life, and I'm your nutritionist. I'm a guy who shares because I care, and that's never going to change. Now, I'm calling today Fat Loss Friday. Well, one, it's Friday. Two, I'm in the middle of an 8-week fat loss challenge, and in just 2 days, we will be at the 4-week mark. That's 28 days. This morning, I had the privilege of talking to many of my clients. This afternoon, I got to talk to quite a few people that are in the challenge. And I am so happy for so many people because they decided just 26 days ago that they were going to do this. And I'm hearing 5 pounds down, 10 pounds down, 16 pounds down, 3 inches off the waist, 5 inches off the waist, 2 inches off the waist. People are feeling good. They're less inflamed and they are benefiting. And here's the big difference between them, those of you in the challenge, and those who think about doing a challenge, right? You know how like some of you decided in January, I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to make all these changes, and you haven't done anything. And that's not a dig on you, but I see it all the time. We live in a world where people are just comfortable with lying to themselves. And every year they're in the same spot. And every year they're talking about they got to do something with their weight. And every year they're trying something new, something different to get the weight off. When I've been doing this this is my 30-year anniversary. I have helped so many people drop excess body fat, get off blood pressure medication, get off all these meds. And even this morning, I was on a great call with some extremely smart people in the health and medical world. And it was great to have a conversation with them because they appreciate all the things that I've done. And they weren't asking me questions about how to lose weight. They were just, we know you already know how to do that. Let's figure out the rest of the stuff. So anyway, it's been a good day. And I'm proud of all of you who are in the challenge. And I'm proud of those of you who will take the challenge. So you can always start the challenge. I recommend you start on a Monday and just go for it. Next thing you know, 7 days will go by. The next thing you know, 14 days will go by. And next thing you know, you'll be at the halfway mark. And then many people are going to continue to go. I'm going to watch people lose 30, 40, 50, 60 plus pounds. And it's all going to go back to the fact that they decided to do this challenge. And not only to do it, but actually to go for it. You know what I mean? And give it their all. So anyway, I'm excited about that. And there's so much to talk about. Now, I have a guest today. Soojin Kim is going to be joining me. And we're going to talk about a few things around health and wellness. But we're also going to talk about how do you make it through a health struggle and get momentum and then move on from there. And Soojin, she's based in Arizona. She's in the health and wellness space. She's helping a lot of people. She's a great person for you to meet and connect with if you don't know Soojin. And if you do, then reconnect if you haven't talked to her in a while, because she's making things happen and she's in it. So it's always good to talk to someone who's like in it. So without further delay, let's go ahead and bring Soojin into the. Let's bring her into the mix. What's up, Soojin?
Hey, what's up, Roberto? Thank
So
you. Thank you.
well, I'm glad that you were able to make time to have this conversation, and we got to make it, and I'll make Soojin's information available to you guys under the comments or in the description, because she's definitely somebody to reach out to, especially when she starts talking about certain things. If you want to learn more about anything that we talk about, you can reach out to Soojin, you can reach out to me, and we're here to help you. Now, before we go anywhere, Soojin, let me just ask you, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Okay.
I'm in a good space in my life. Yeah.
Okay. And what is the weather like in Arizona right now?
Perfect. I think it's 74 today.
All right.
Sunny.
Well, enjoy it now, because in July, August, what happens?
I'm going to run away and visit you in by the beach.
The heat gets really, 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 really up there, doesn't it?
Yes. It's oven. It feels like oven. But you know what? You can relate because we're both Midwesterners. It's still better than shoveling snow, better than scraping the car, driving the ice. So I'll take it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was talking to some people in I think they're in West Virginia this morning, and they're having major snows. I'm like, wow, it's almost March. They says, yep, it looks like we're going to have snow all the way up until the middle of March.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember Wisconsin, like even early June, I've seen snow at the end of May. Crazy. And the next day it'll be 70. So, yeah.
Well, we have this challenge that we're in, and I was telling people about it, giving them an update. And it's a fat loss challenge. And then, everybody has challenges, right? And you and I, we became partners, and we have this product called Balance Oil that we encourage everybody to be on. I think everybody and their mom, cousin, brother, uncles, distant cousins would benefit from being on the Balance Oil.
Yes, definitely.
And one thing so I want to ask you this question, because I've watched you like nail it. You could see someone and just look at them and know if they are on the Balance Oil or not.
Yes, they have their internal glow if they're taking the Balance Oil. They could be a picture of health with muscles, low fat, but they don't have the glow, internal glow. They're working out a lot, so they're causing a lot of stress on their body, but they're not recovering. If they also included Balance Oil, it would recover better, faster.
Now, when did you first discover that you could discover if somebody was on it? Right? It's like well, once you started on it, like what happened?
Because I could see it within myself. I'm like, oh, I'm more moisturized, but I didn't change my moisturizer. It must be internal. And as I applied, I need less products because I'm not as dry. As I was looking at myself, and then I would look at others. And as I literally tested probably 120 people in person, and as their test results came and what my assumption of their health status equated to the results that came in. So doing that continuously, I recently tested 2 athletes. As an athletes, not athletes, they work out regularly, they keep up their body, but one had a glow and one did not. One was older, much older, but he had the glow. Turns out he is taking an omega-3 supplement. He's still not balanced because he's not taking the Balance Oil, but much better rate than someone else. He's taking other supplements. So,
okay.
And then what I assumed was true. The results showed. I was like, very close to my guesstimate.
Right. So for those of you who are new, like, what is the Balance Oil? There's a product that we recommend to people, and this product is a combination of polyphenols, which are like antioxidants, like a lot of the positive things you get from fruits and vegetables, and it's combined with omega-3s, which you've probably heard of omega-3s, and that blend together is absolutely fabulous. I mean, I take it every day. Soojin takes it every day, and we've introduced it to quite a few people, and all the people who are using it, they're getting some amazing benefits. Like life-changing benefits. Like I'll give you guys an example of like some of the things that that we're seeing. So let me see here. Let me see. So there you go. So if you look in close, depending if you're in your computer or not, you can see that people are burning more fat, reducing fatty liver, fatigue is not as bad, sleep is improved. I have 30 people. I can't wait to get 31 that don't have dry eye anymore, Soojin. All from this product that you're helping to make very popular in the beautiful state of Arizona.
I'm trying. Sharing my message every day. Whoever, I can talk to. I carry around in my purse. You don't know when we're gonna do a random shot of balance oil. It could be anywhere. I just most recent place, big event was at the Phoenix Open.
You had everybody taking a shot of the oil.
Yeah. Well, I had a couple of my friends.
All right. So it speaks to everything. So again, if you reach out to Soojin, reach out to me if you want to learn more about it. But this is something that we believe in, and it's a family now. We have like a partnership of all these amazing people, and we're just getting the word out and helping people. I have Soojin. So let's play a game. You up for a game?
Uh-oh. Okay. Shoot.
Okay. So the game is this, right? Because people who have known me for years know that I don't talk about many supplements. And so when you have a 30-year track record and they've never really seen you promote a supplement, it gets people's attention, especially the ones who know you and they feel that you bring a good amount of credibility to the work that you do. So this is I've encouraged some supplements. Like I'm a big believer that vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc are great supplements, definitely for the gut. So when my clients come to me would say, "Hey, well, I'm going to take a vitamin. What do you recommend?" Those are like some of the basics that I would recommend. But I don't sell them or make money from it. I just say, yeah, it's great to take vitamin C, D, and zinc. And many people discovered the importance of that during the pandemic, right? But when I came across this product, it just got my attention in a great way. So what I want to do, the game I want to play with you is I'm going to share with you something that I've witnessed as far as people using the balance oil. And I'm going to keep it short and quick. And then I want you to share. And we're going to go back and forth 3 times. Deal?
Okay.
So I'll give you an example because I'll start off. So I have a family. Okay, they're all over 50. They're in their 50s and 60s and early 70s. The family had 15 siblings, and 7 of the siblings, the brothers and sisters in this family, have all had challenges with their blood pressure. And all 7 of them, after taking the balance oil consistently, they have their blood pressure in complete balance. Some have gotten off medications, some haven't, but none of them are having problems with their blood pressure going up too high. That's 1.
Yeah, awesome. Do you know the duration of the time they took the balance oil to get to that level?
No, I mean, no. I'm just trying to keep it quick. I'm just sharing, like, if someone's sitting there watching us have a conversation, I mention a product. All right, well, what are some of the benefits of that product? Well, all I can tell you is that I have 7 people that are all in the same family that have struggled with their blood pressure. The only thing they have changed in their entire life, and now they all have their blood pressure under control, is that they all take the balance oil.
Yeah.
That's a success story. So that's mine. And now you do yours. Go.
I have so I go to Lifetime Fitness, and there's this cute lady. She's 85 years old. She does cycling classes. She does all the exercises. And she's one of my customers, and she messaged me. She's like, "Hey, does it add energy to my body?" And I said, "Yes, of course." She's like, "Oh, that's where the pep in my step is coming. I don't have to struggle to go up the stairs." And I go, "Oh, awesome." And so, nice to hear. Yeah.
I mean, that's a great story, Soojin.
Yeah. And then every time, I usually running, I go to classes. So I'm rushing, and she'll walk past me. She's like, "I love that stuff." Just whisper it to me. And she's been on it for, I don't know, like 6 months now. So.
And here's my disclaimer, Soojin. And for those who are listening and those who are new to this or are very familiar with it. I'm not going to say that it's okay. One is not necessarily the supplement that's creating the outcome, but it's what the supplement is providing that's creating the outcome.
Right.
Was that too deep, or do you think everybody got that?
No, everybody should get it. So
Okay.
improve cellular health. So
Right.
when your
Well,
cells healthier, everything functions better.
well, where a lot of that comes from, how I explain it, is that we live in a world right now where almost everyone has insufficient levels of omega-3 in their body.
Correct.
And you could go take a lot of omega-3s, right? You can go to Walmart and buy one right now, but it may not give you what we're talking about.
Right.
So the product that we're talking about, balance oil, it has omega-3s in it. It also has polyphenols in it, and all the other ingredients and how it's created. We know it works better than other products because of the tests.
Right.
Right. So it's filling that nutritional gap that many people have. I mean, imagine living life with eczema, a really horrible, challenging skin condition. And you go 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and you have this skin condition. And then you go online and you look up what can help with eczema. And you see omega-3s. You say, oh, is that a fish oil? Then you see polyphenols. And then you meet Soojin or you meet Robert Ferguson. And I say, hey, I have a product. I think you give it a shot. So this is my second story. I have a lady who's in her early 70s who has had eczema for almost 40 years. She starts taking the balance oil. 4 to 5 months later, the eczema is completely gone. Now, she didn't change. She didn't eat differently. She didn't exercise differently. She didn't use some other product. The only thing that changed in her life was that she started taking balance oil and then woke up one day after a while and no more eczema. Boom. That's number 2. Your turn. Go.
I have a new customer that after second dose, so second day, he's like, my joints feel already better. So boom, I go, I love it. And he's like, I'm going to take it regularly. So
Wow.
that was like a real quick turnaround. You know, some people it takes a couple of weeks, some people take a couple of months.
Okay.
I noticed it within a couple of days. But
All right.
regarding,
All right. So you ready for my third one?
okay.
I know someone that took just one shot of it and grew 12 inches.
Nice. Well, just where?
Okay. So everybody, I'm just kidding with that one. Actually, I'm going to borrow one from Linda because Linda's catching us live here. And you know Linda, you met Linda.
Yes.
Linda's a success story. So she's catching us live on YouTube.
Amazing. Yes.
Linda was sharing with me. Here's my third story. How her brother, I believe it was her brother, and if I'm wrong, Linda, message to comment, has vertigo or had vertigo. And vertigo is really challenging for a lot of people. And now there's no more vertigo. So he calls it the miracle in a bottle. Because he said nothing else changed. The only thing that's been different is I'm using the balance oil.
Yeah.
So that's my third one. And you want to give your third one, drum roll, everybody?
Third one, this new, he's been on the now 6 weeks, but within a couple of weeks, I asked him how he felt, and he's like, I have more energy and I'm more focused. My mood is lifted. I don't know if it's because I talk to you regularly or if it's the oil, but it's working. Loving it. So
okay, so and you know what's cool about everything that we're sharing is that there's evidence, science that backs up why those people are experiencing those benefits.
right.
So
yeah, he asked me, he's like, does that help with focus, like with attention? I go, oh yeah, there's published documentation and clinical data. I was like, oh, you know,
okay, well, thank you for playing that game with me, Soojin. So now let's shift. I said we're going to talk about how to get yourself motivated when you feel like you're in the darkness. Because many people, I do believe that most people want to feel better. Most people want to be healthier. Most people who have weight, they want to lose weight. But
Mhm.
it can be depressing. It can be challenging to stay the course and work through it, because you may have moments where you feel like you've lost hope. And I know that your health has been attacked, and you've shared when we talked last time how you were going through some really dark moments,
Mhm.
and in your story you worked out of it. But I want to go back to the part, and you have some images you're going to share with us, but like what exactly was it, and then we can show some of the images. Like
Okay.
I think you said hernia.
Yeah, so it's just an abnormal opening of a tissue, um, with the tissue, like organs. A lot of times the intestines will come through between the abnormal openings. And instead of just sewing the tissue closed, because the weakness, once the weakness happens, it would always be there. So the sutures might rip again. So to prevent that from reoccurring, what the medical doctors have been doing is putting something called medical mesh. It's made out of polypropylene, so
Is
basically plastic. Yeah,
Okay, let me
and
see. Is this what the mesh looks like?
yeah, it's black and white. Yeah, picture of a brand new before it went into the body. This is just one of the models. There's hundreds of different models.
Okay.
This
So
particular model is Teflon and plastic. So
so
think
so are
about
you
that.
so just for clarity, a person, you hear about people getting a hernia. It's usually around the abdomen area, right?
Abnormal, yeah, or inguinal.
Okay. And so you basically, like you said, you have like a bulge coming through.
Right.
And old fashioned way would be to go in if it's sticking around, and because a hernia can heal itself too, right?
Sometimes, because yeah, it's a moving, you could push it back literally, physically, and then it would just stay there. But if it keeps repeating, the bulge keeps repeating, then the surgery is warranted. And, and in the past, many decades ago, they would just sew it, but they would have recurrence of reopening the abnormal, um, or reopening of the abnormal area. So then they figured out, let's put a patch, like as if you had a hole in your jeans. Instead of sewing that with a thread, if you put a patch behind it, it strengthens the jeans, and the thread would hold with the patch. So
Hmm.
there's more material. So same concept, but for your human tissue. So so they're putting a mesh to strengthen your tissues,
Okay.
so you don't have reoccurrence. However, the mesh itself, because it is a foreign object, and particular model that was in me was Teflon, composite of Teflon and plastic, and my body was rejecting it. So it caused all kinds of inflammation. And
Hmm.
inflammation, one of the ways it causes inflammation is to build keloids, scar tissues within the body. And in my case, it would not stop making the keloids. And you can
Oh,
see, yeah. So the picture that you'll be showing, that's the byproduct of the keloids all over my small bowels.
okay. Well, let me see if I can show a picture of your keloids. Is that the keloids?
So yes, when they lifted my mesh, removed it,
So that's
and
inside of your stomach.
that's my small bowels. The doctor, you could see the fingers. He's holding up my bowels.
Oh
That's small
man.
bowels. It's supposed to look like sausages, your small bowels.
Uh-huh.
That's what I look. So this is a time of my life I was in the hospital 4 to 6 months with bowel obstructions. Now you can see why the bowel obstructions was happening. I could not digest food because that's what my insides look like.
Oh man.
So that was taken 2011. So almost 14 years ago, I was told I needed, that was in UCLA. UCLA doctor removed my mesh and he said, I can fix your pelvic area because that's his specialty, but you need to go see a gastro doctor or general surgeon in Arizona and have that repaired. That was almost 14 years ago. I have not had it repaired. My insides still look like that, plus more scar tissue has built because I can physically feel it.
Oh
So that's
wow.
my everyday. So next picture, will be that's the removal. That's the shiny part side is the Teflon. The other side is the rough part. Rough part is facing my tissue, and the shiny part is facing the small bowels. And my body did not like the Teflon touching it. So in order to protect it, what the body does is sends extra tissue cells to in a protective mechanism.
Mm.
However, when you keep making the extra cells in the tissue, it started fusing all my small bowels together. And then, of course, it's not going to function properly.
Okay, and what about
And
this picture?
that's literally after the mesh is removed, they're looking at my bowels before they physically lifted it up.
Oh man.
So, and that was 14 years ago. So when I went to the surgeon in Arizona, I said, "This is my condition. I need a repair." He said, "You're gonna have to get most of those removed. But the risk is, this is in my early 40s now. I think 40, 41. You would probably end up with a colostomy bag for the rest of your life." So I opted to not to do it, and I managed my own way. I became a colon hydrotherapist where I had to use the machine every day to have bowel movements. But last few years, I found natural supplements to make my bowels function as normal as possible. But it hasn't been normal in literally 20 years.
Wow.
I have to schedule, I have to time, and I have to plan. So one of the reasons I have a big group of friends that camp, I always say I can't camp because it's too stressful. Anyway, not to go into all the details, but yeah, that's my everyday struggle. But I managed to live with it in my own way. I told you personally, I'm facing a dilemma of having the surgery, or
So having
accepting
the surgery, when you say in having the surgery,
bowel resection.
since that time, you got the mesh removed,
Mhm.
and so there's a surgery that they want to do. What would the new surgery do? Like, why would
Well,
you? What's the new surgery that you haven't gotten yet?
to remove all those scar tissue, damaged bowels that it's inside me, to remove
Mm.
all that. But yeah, but my consultation was over 13 years ago. So I'm hoping they have different, recommendation, whatnot. Another medical treatment I'm looking into is stem cell therapy. I read somewhere that it can start breaking down the scar tissues, the keloids that it's in me. So that's another option. It's not guaranteed it's going to work, but it is much, less invasive than surgery. So I told myself that after having so many surgeries, 10 plus major surgeries, I'm so over surgeries. If I have to have another one, I'd rather die. That was my stance over 10 years ago.
Mm.
10 years ago, I did not think I was going to make it to my 50, but now I'm facing 54 soon. So, okay, I'm here for a reason. I'm still here. But the pain is increasing in that area, and it is more struggle. I do my best to live a normal life, and I manage in my own way, but it is getting harder. So it's like decision time. I waver back and forth, surgery or deal with it like how I have been all these years.
Okay, so what's the light at the end of the tunnel here? I mean, we
Oh,
don't
pain
want
relief.
we don't want everybody to be depressed all weekend.
Okay. Pain relief. Um, it's in the area of my body where it doesn't have a lot of nerves. That's why I can function. I still exercise. Does it cause me pain? Yes, but I know how to manage it. Pain is just normal part of my life, and but it's all relative. I was in such a severe pain where the air itself would hurt me. I could not have fans turned on because of fan air, that kind of pain. So now this pain is so, minor compared to what I suffered before.
Right.
But if I was relieved of it, I would feel so much better too. That possibility is exciting. And I'm told that it's a possibility. So it's, my mindset and me deciding to do it because I told myself that's not negotiable. I'm never having surgery. So I'm not doing it. me coming to terms with, you know what, maybe I should have it. Maybe it is better for me. Um, and I have to believe. I'm coming to that terms like, yeah, I'll have surgery and I will be better and healthier. Imagine what else I can do. I can actually do crunches because I can do a lot of exercises, but crunches is not one of them because it's very tender in that area.
Mm.
Plus, I have to protect my abdomen because I have history of hernia, and now that it is patched up just with sutures, not without the mesh, I have a huge weakness in that area. So I'm
Oh, so
always
when, so all right. So when the doctors removed the mesh,
Mhm.
they then sewed it up the traditional way.
Right.
Okay.
And then I was out. I told her I couldn't carry more than a gallon, and I have to be very careful. I'm very. I mean, I lift some weights, but I know that I I'm more cautious about it, how
Okay.
I'm carrying
All right.
lifting.
So with all that going on, what are words of wisdom you can give other people who are going through it? Maybe they're dealing with some, diagnosis that's not looking good. Do you have any words of wisdom that you can give people since you've walked through those dark moments?
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to people who have implant illnesses, and there's all kinds of implant illnesses, breast implants. It's not just mesh. There's a lot of autoimmune conditions. Um, even with the conditions you have, with nutrition, with right supplements, you can optimize your cells. I mean, if I didn't share that information, that's how my insights look today. People would be shocked, like, what? But you do all this. And I go, I do all that because I take the right supplements, because I try to eat healthy. Do I fall off the wagon once in a while? Yes. uh, but I try to recover next day. And so all about balance. I don't live a perfect life. Um, but at the same time, that's what makes me happy. It's about balance. And then having a product like Balance Oil literally balances your omega-6 to omega-3 ratio and the importance of it. Um, I knew the importance, but I didn't really absorb the importance, and I didn't actually consciously learn about it until the Balance Oil was introduced to me. I'm like, oh, it makes sense. I've heard it because I'm a regular reader of nutrition and supplements. I have been for the last like 14 years. So yeah,
Okay.
it just makes sense.
All right.
So
Well, any aside from you, and thank you for sharing those words of encouragement with those who are listening in. Is there anything else that you would want to share with anyone before we say goodbye and wish everybody an amazing, beautiful weekend?
words of encouragement, surround yourself with good people, good vibe, good energy. I think that's very important. And love yourself. I've had to learn to start loving myself. I'm gonna get emotional because I didn't know I didn't love myself until like literally like 6 months ago. It was just it was told to me that I didn't love myself. I'm like, what? I had a question, and then I realized I really didn't, or wasn't fully. So accepting yourself, do things good for you.
Now, who told you that you didn't love yourself? How did you learn that?
Well, I had an energy healing session with Angel Marie. She's amazing quantum energy
Mm.
healer. She's been doing it for 30 plus years. She hardly knows me. She briefly met me in a couple of events, and then she told me, she's like, Sue, you don't love yourself. You have low self worth. This was like literally news to me. I'm like, what? This lady. And then that's a whole separate topic. Well, we can talk about another day. But I started really reflecting on myself and asking my own why she thought to say that, or she knew that, and then there was reasons, and then I go, it made sense. So I've been
Well,
at
do you know the definition of self-esteem?
um
Or how would you define what self-esteem is?
self-esteem, what you think about yourself, how you think about yourself, where it could be low or high,
Okay.
value.
Well, I'm saying yes, but the short definition of self-esteem
Mhm.
is how much you love yourself.
Yeah, she also said that too. You have low self-esteem, which was shocking. I'm like, really? I go, I'm pretty, outspoken, demonstrative, or whatever. And she's like, no, I didn't say all that. And yeah.
Yeah, because you can be all that and be confident and walk around and not
Mhm.
love yourself. There's many people who are doing amazing things that we look up to, but they don't love themselves.
Right. And I
Yeah.
was one of them.
So do you love yourself now?
Yes. And one of the exercises I was given to literally tell myself,
Mhm.
I love you, Soojin. You're worth it.
I,
And
I lo-
so when I exercise, I started yoga. I'm getting emotional. I started yoga early October, and part of the reason, well, I thought I couldn't do yoga, but I learned I've been doing it, and you have to do a lot of breathing work. And while you breathe, I remind myself, I love you. A positive affirmation. Even yeah, so I take a few minutes every day, or every day when I'm doing some kind of exercises, I remind
Mhm.
myself. I didn't know I needed to do that,
Well,
but
what's interesting is how many people don't realize they don't love themselves. Like, you know how when you look at someone, you go, I can tell if they are in balance, if they're taking balance well. You can see the glow, right?
Mhm,
When I'm on the phone talking to someone, I can
mhm,
hear if they love themselves. Now you can fake it, but people
mhm,
who love themselves are better salespeople. And I
mhm,
learned that from this guy named Brian Tracy. He
mhm,
says, Robert, before you make a sales call, this is what I want you to do. He says, just stop, breathe. You can look in the mirror or not, doesn't matter. You just
mhm,
say, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love I love me. I love right.
uh,
So
so
I've added to it, but he was like, just say, I love myself. I love myself. Then call. And when the person picks up, they can hear in
mhm,
your voice joy, love, acceptance, everything that resonates love. They can hear it.
mhm,
And I actually, in some of my trainings I do, even with coaches, is I say, before you call your clients, go through this. And I've had moments where I don't, and I forget, and maybe something's bothering me,
mhm,
maybe something's going on, and
mhm,
at that moment, I'm not loving myself,
mhm,
and my clients can hear it in my voice.
mm. Yeah, makes sense. So that session I had with Angel Marie was Labor Day weekend. Labor Day, exactly Labor Day, Monday. I I think it was September 3rd. And I met you September 14th, or yeah, September 14th for the Houston conference. So it was, less than 10 days. So remember I said I'm going through a lot. Just yeah. So at when I met you, I didn't love myself. And then around October, well, it took me a couple of weeks to realize why she said that. So it took me even, you know, and then that event was going on after that. That was great weekend. It was, a positive, motivational weekend. I came back all hyped. And then and the more I'm learning from all the leaders up there, from all the successful people, all the multimillionaires, billionaires, they did a lot of personal development. And what's personal development? Number one, you have to love yourself.
Mhm.
Oh, I gotta, and then it translates to business. So that's been my daily work.
All right. Well, everybody, when you say Sujin, it means when you translate it in English, I love myself. So everybody walk around Sujin, Sujin. Well, that was great. And you know what? I believe that helps people when they're wanting to lose weight, because sometimes people don't love themselves, and that blocks them from putting in the work to lose the weight.
Yes. Yes, that's
Yeah.
part of it. And another term I learned, issues, is issues in the tissues.
Hmm.
You know, People who struggle with weight, and I'm one of them. Why did I suffer so much on it? It's because you have issue in your tissue. And oh, once you have your mindset, once you start loving yourself, all those can be cleared.
All right. Well, everybody, people came here today, listen in. They didn't know they were going to get a love session, and that was great. So, thank you, Sujan. So we,
Thank
we
you.
have to like in the future, as we've shared your story, then we got to come up with some things we want to share that will inspire and uplift people to live their best and healthiest life, right?
Mhm.
I mean, yeah,
First,
Hashimika.
and yeah, first you have to decide. I just whatever you want to do. You want to get better. You know what? Today's the day I'm going to get better. And then once you make that decision, things align.
Well, there
And
you
then,
go.
yeah.
All right, you guys reach out to Soojin. She's amazing. Get on the phone with her, send her an email. Her information is provided. And I want you to have a blessed weekend. Are you going to the big event on the 22nd, Soojin?
Tomorrow, yes, I
Okay.
am one of the sponsors.
Oh, nice. Now
Are you
that's
coming?
with the football player, right?
Yeah, it was AC Caswell.
Yeah, so it's
$1
his
million
event.
bingo,
Okay.
champagnes and cigars, and
Nice.
something else. Oops.
Okay, well, I'm sure that'll be fun.
Are you flying in tomorrow morning?
I am not. My
Okay.
daughter is having her very first track meet.
Oh.
Yes. And I
Oh.
am so thankful that I am going to be there live and present. So that's where I'm going to be. And if you've ever gone to a high school track meet, you know, she's doing 2 events, but you'll be there for hours for 2 events.
Yeah.
And they usually and she's running 100 meters. So that's not usually in the beginning.
Oh.
Because that's one of the events that everybody's like there to watch. And they kind of put it toward the end. So you got to watch people run mile. You got to watch people, right?
Yeah. You're like,
So,
when is my kid getting on? When is
yeah.
it starting?
So I'll just be sitting there in the bleachers, enjoying and just being thankful,
Mhm.
and thankful for a lot of reasons. Because in the last 10 days, I've lost 3 people, and 2 relatives, and really sad. One we knew we were gonna lose.
Mhm.
I mean, it still hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then one was a surprise, and it was a heart attack. Very unfortunate. So, but so I'll take that time in the stands and just kind of get caught up on my phone. And so I'll be around, I'll be available, and I'll be sending positive vibes your way. So you guys have a good time. I wish I was there, but I am seeing if I can make it next week to Arizona.
Okay. All right. Let me
But
know.
I'll let you know. We'll talk.
Okay.
All right, you guys.
Real quick, and track and field, yes, I know you're already a grateful person and you're grateful that you can be at your daughter's. Lexi was in track and field, but at that period in my life, I was so sick, I could not be involved in any part of that. So if, that's one of the regrets, suffering with illnesses,
Yeah, but you're here, and that's what counts,
Yeah.
Jen. I mean, I would have never had Korean collard greens. I mean,
Oh, mine tasted so much better than Gus's because a couple days ago we had Gus's. I'm like, something's missing. Oh, it doesn't have my love.
yeah. I mean, your cooking is amazing. I think. I mean, yeah, you should post more pictures of your food.
Okay, we'll do.
Well, not should. It's just nice. 'Cause I know how good of a cook you are, and you have your own spin on things, and I mean, it's absolutely great food. So, man, anybody who's around Soojin will know what I'm talking about. So, all right,
Thank
champ.
you, Robert. Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you. All right, and everybody who caught us, we want to say thank you. It's Robert Ferguson and Soojin wishing everybody a happy and lovely weekend. Until the next time, we're out of here. Peace.
In a world of dice, there's a new way to see. No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right.